Good afternoon, folks. Today this will just be a short one. Most of them are short, right? It's good. Short is better. I'm going to kind of explain how I lost 90 pounds in the last year and a half, I guess. I wasn't actively doing any diet. I just stopped eating like a pig and started eating normally. For me, normally is about 1,600 calories. I was probably eating 3,000 calories before, I think. I'm not sure. Anything fat or fried. I was miserable in my life, and the only comfort I had was eating something really bad. So the way and I'm still bad once in a while. You should be to make your metabolism not settle on one thing. I actually find I lose more weight if I'm good, bad, but mostly good. But I have a couple of products that I use that are wonderful, and they're like having a treat. Okay, it feels like I'm having a treat, but I'm not really. Built bars. These haven't been around that long as far as I know. They might have been, but they only came to my attention earlier this year, but I'm sure they've been around. 130 calories for this, and it has 17 grams of protein. That's good. God, it feels like you're eating candy. It is so yummy. The fat grams in that is 2.5. Not bad at all. Yeah, there's a couple chemicals in it, but whatever. And 6 grams of fiber. Ooh, I love these. I also got a double chocolate. I wait till they're having a big sale and I order them through the mail. A few stores have them, but I don't know of any by me. And I don't really like to go out. I'm kind of a hermit, so I order most things by mail. This is an Atkins bar. Now this is still a little bit more fat. 7 grams of fat. Still 130 calories. 7 grams of protein, but not as good as the Built bar. But it's satisfying, believe me. And it's got 8 grams of fiber. I don't like it as much as a Built bar, but I do like it. It comes in lemon, which I love. This time I tried Dulce Delish cake. So it's kind of like kind of a pastry, sort of. And it's gooey stuff, and it's good. It's satisfying. But lemon is my favorite, though. Store didn't have them last time I went. Now, of course, I put these. I go into an app that any app would work. A lot of them are free. And then you just put what you ate, and it'll, like MyFitnessPal is one of them. I don't use that one. I don't laugh. I use one called Fat Secret. And the people on there are very supportive of one another. I just joined the free one. I'll put in what I ate and the brand, and it already has everything, the fat, the calories, the protein, the sodium, which I'm a little bad about. Okay, this stuff. You miss eating chocolate cheesecake? You won't after having this. In fact, most protein powders are good, but I like this one best because you can have 2 scoops. 2 pretty good sized scoops of this. And that's 180 calories. So I usually have 1 scoop, which is a half of a serving at a time. And you mix that with some fat-free cottage cheese. I know it sounds disgusting, but it's good. You're getting your protein and you feel like you're eating chocolate cheesecake. You could whip it up to make it into a more of a smooth consistency. But what I do is I just eat it with a spoon like it's a dessert. Some people put it in shakes, milk. It goes with milk very well. And I've been trying to get off cow's milk. So until I find substitutes for all the kind of cheeses that substitute for cow's milk, I'm kind of stuck with dairy for a little while. It's also good with whipped cream cheese, which is two tablespoons of whipped cream cheese is 50 calories. That plus that, you're eating something that tastes like an awesome piece of chocolate cheesecake for less than 200 calories. And a real piece of cheesecake, probably 400 or more, even with a small size. This is called collagen peptides, and I think it's good for your skin and your bones. And the jury's still out on it. They say that putting it on your skin doesn't really help, but I don't agree. Okay, I'd look like even more of a hag than I do now if I didn't use them. This doesn't taste that great, so I will put it in coffee or anything hot or even room temperature that I'm drinking. I don't think it dissolves well, and it's just like a little scoop about that big. And you just need that once a day, and it's 40 calories. I've seen flavored collagen, that's a lot more calories. And this has 9 grams of protein, but only 40 calories, which is, to me, is good. And I don't think you're supposed to put protein powder in a hot drink. I've read things that said it's not good to do that. But this is Nature Aid brand pea protein. Now there's a more fancy edition of it, but this is the one I used. I get it off Amazon every month. It's 160 calories if you eat both scoops. But what I do is I just eat one scoop at a time. I'll either mix it with almond milk, and I get the sugar-free, the almond milk without the sugar, because then it's like 30 calories for a whole cup. And if I just want to have a half a cup, that's 15 calories plus that for under $100 for under 100 calories. You have a really good tasting snack. And some people will whip it up in the blender with ice, but I'm too lazy. I eat it like it's a dessert. I'm silly, I know. It also goes good in yogurt. One thing I did find, and that's just my opinion, is that any vanilla protein powder, whether it's whey or WHEY, whey protein, or vegetarian protein, the vanilla does not taste good with milk, regular dairy milk, or with cottage cheese or with cream cheese. Now, that's just my opinion, so other people might feel differently. As far as exercise, I have a lot of arthritis and things wrong, so apparently my body is adjusting to eating about 1,600, and this didn't come off overnight. I wasn't even keeping track in the beginning. At the beginning of 2021, I decided to get a scale. So I had a delivered digital scale. So I already went into Fat Secret and put my beginning weight. When I stood on the scale, I was like, oh my God, it's less to start with. But still, it was not what I wanted to be. It was 20 pounds less than I thought it was. So I was like, okay, I get a little head start. But you can't. The problem with me in the past is I've gone on very low-calorie diets, like not Slim Fast. What do you? Slim Fast is nice on the go. I'd rather have a Slim Fast in my car than stop at McDonald's, which I was addicted to. Oh my God, I love the fat and the salt and oil, grease. Not good. But with my problem, I'm just a type 2 diabetic, so I'm not a serious type 1, thank God. But I get these hypoglycemic episodes where I shake like crazy, and I'm on something called metformin, which kind of keeps it even. But sometimes I forget to take it because when I'm really tired at night, I just conk out. And it's good to take it at night for some reason. I don't think you're supposed to take it during the day. Now, what happens is, and this was explained to me by my endocrinologist, and I kind of knew it all along. He said you can eat a whole box of, well, the donuts that is fat, but you can eat a whole bunch of something with sugar and you'll never be satisfied. Yet you can eat one thing that's without sugar with protein and you will be satisfied. And it's true. I mean, a lot of restaurants and food companies that are not Lean Cuisine or Weight Watchers, companies that want you to like their food, they don't give a damn what calories you're eating. Places like IHOP have started listing their calories on the menu, and I think that also a lot of the chain restaurants have started doing it. I think Ruby Tuesday does it in places like that, which is good, you know. But a lot of chefs, they don't give it that. Or a lot of restaurants, their thinking is, let's just squeeze as much fat and sugar in some so something tastes really good. Or the recipe just naturally calls for it, and they're not doing it to be, mean or anything. It's just, that's the way the recipe is. I'm not much of a cook. I'm very clumsy. I have a neuropathy, which is why I'm playing guitar. It really helps. But I drop things a lot, and it's really scary. I've burnt myself. So I try to keep everything as simple as possible. It's embarrassing, but it started happening like 10 years ago. It's a neuropathy problem, and I'm on something for that. But sometimes it's just crazy, and I'll use convenience foods to try to like mix them together. Sometimes, even if you buy a low fat version of something, if you look at the calories, sometimes the calories are even more. I don't know if you guys remember Snackwell cookies. I used to eat them and I was never satisfied. But I'm thinking, oh, I'm a good girl. And I was younger then. I don't even know if they're around anymore, but I'd say, oh, I'm being good. This is fat free. But no, you still gain weight because the calories still count. Also, going in the opposite way, some people do this high protein, high fat, low carb. I don't like that either for my body. If it works for you, that's great. I see these things in supermarkets called fat bombs. You will not see me eating a fat bomb, hopefully. I'm sure they're really good. I'll bet you they're really good, but you get enough fat without trying. But some people need the fat to satisfy them and counteract the sugar. But what happens with me is I cannot go more than 3 hours without eating because I will get the shakes so badly and it's horrible. And recently I went into Walmart. When I came out, there were Girl Scouts out there selling cookies. I was like, thank you, girls. And I bought a box and I ate the whole damn thing. Thank God it's gone, so I don't have to keep eating it. It was so good. And I didn't have my emergency supplies with me. I usually have one of each with me. Or, there's a couple different things. I like Fiber One bars. They're only 70 calories. And yeah, there's some sugar and some fat in it. But anything that's like in a separate thing is good, because your calorie portion controlled. And what I used to do was I would go on a diet that was real low calories, like 1,000. I went on Nutrisystem years ago, lost a whole bunch of weight. Then I was in maintenance plan and raise your calories a little. And it was like an addiction. I kept more and more and more and more, and I gained back that plus more. What I found, and I don't know if this is true for everybody, this is true for me, and you might want to try it. You just lower your calories from what you're eating slowly and let your body get used to it. Too many diets are very low calorie, and then you go back up, and it's like even if you do it in stages, you end up gaining plus more. But that's not true for everybody. Some people have better self-control than I do. I don't. So the way I had to do it was wean myself off the very high calories. I started with like 2,000 and then I went down to 1,900 and there were cheat days in between, but I saw like a pound or two coming off each week. And then I would, around the holidays, most of it was naughty, but then I'd get right back on the horse because I live alone. So I used to have the problem where whoever I lived with, I'd be in bed for the night saying, okay, I'm done eating my calories for the day. Then I'd smell something fattening, like cooking in the microwave, something in the other room. I feel like, damn, and it's like a drug. Food is like a drug, and it was horrible. And a lot of times I would either get really frustrated or give in. Now I live alone. I'm not going to smell the dog's food and say, I want some of that. It's totally different. What I'm trying to tell you guys and gals is that don't be hating on yourself. Don't be torturing yourself. If you're more than you want to be, I'm still more than what I want to be. I'm not at my goal yet. But I'm out of the extra larges. I'm in the regular sizes now, thank God. But I'm still not happy with my belly. And I do as many sit-ups as I can. And doctors and nutritionists and trainers have told me, over the years, you cannot bounce fat off one spot on your body, which is true. I'm lifting light weights because that's all my doctor said I'm allowed to lift. And that's fine because I want to look like this, not this. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of girls that look like men and I don't want to like be mean or anything, but don't be lifting, be feminine. I mean, unless you're into being a tomboy, so that's up to you. If you're healthy, you're happy with yourself, you are matter. But don't expect me to follow that plan. Just like I'm not expecting you to follow what I do. I'm just saying, try being easy on yourself. If there's something you really like that's really sinful and you want it more than once in a blue moon, try to find a substitute for it. Try to play with it and see if, even if you're not cooking the whole thing, even if you're just putting together like a little salad or this or that, or just mixing some powder or something, try finding something that's not so bad and will still give you a very similar taste and satisfaction. Because that's really what I did, and I still do. And a few days ago was my very, very naughty day. So right now I'm committed to being good again. A week from now I might not feel this way. I'll tell you, I'm human, and I know that I crave certain foods. So when I don't have any appointments, like no doctor appointments, say, thank God. I have none this week. I feel like I'm on vacation. Now I just get to clean the house, fun stuff like that. But when I don't have to go anywhere, I know whatever I need is in my cupboard. When I'm on the road, you stop in a convenience store, chances are they're not going to have what you need. And a lot of times on the route I take, like to and from Charleston or whatever doctors I go to around here, it's very hard to find even, if a supermarket's on the way, yeah, I'll pull in there and find something I like. But a lot of it is not ready to eat. If they have like little yogurt drinks, sure, I'll get one of those. But one more thing I want to say, be careful of some health food stores. I have seen things in health food stores, and the salespeople are encouraging me. That's really, really good for you. It's organic. Okay, but this organic bar is 400 calories. How is that better for me than something I bought in the supermarket when it's the same size? I don't care if it's grown on the mountaintop in some exotic country and it's never had anything in it. If it's more calories, I ain't gonna eat it, or I am, but I'm gonna be ashamed of myself afterwards. Also, when you look at a food, especially a packaged food in a convenience store, the other day I'm looking because I had another low. I have lows about once or twice a week, and it's horrible. This one wasn't as bad because I knew I was going to be home soon, but I just couldn't make the rest of the trip without getting something in me because my shakes were very bad. I'm looking at the little little Debbie's and all those kind of cakes, and these were like fancy cheese danishes. I look, it says 250 calories. I said, good. I said, but there's two servings, and so the package is this big. So if you eat the whole thing, it's 500 calories. I'm like, uh, so I ended up finding something for 350 calories for the whole thing, which is pretty bad because that's what I'd eat in a meal. So I do eat healthy choice meals. To me, they're a little expensive, but I only get them when they're on sale. And then my freezer gets full. I also bought turkey burgers, but I haven't opened them yet. I will one day though. Those you could just, eat in a hurry or whatever, nuke them and then maybe throw them on that's most cooking I do. And there are so many things you can do to satisfy yourself and feel good. And really feeling good and being healthy is more important than um, looking like a model or whatever. I know I'm never going to look like one unless there's a market out there for old ladies. I don't care. I'm not that part of my life is over. I just want to be happy and healthy. And if you guys and gals want to feel the same, I suggest you do what feels good for you and make a compromise by what tastes good and what is good for you. You'll eventually find a balance. I don't even call what I'm doing dieting because the word diet, going on a diet, implies that you're going to go back off it. Instead, I say I'm eating healthy, healthier than I used to. And if you just look at it that way, you're going to win. It's a win-win situation for you. So please, if you have any comments, please leave them below. Feel free to contact me on Instagram at AuntDiane157 if you wish. Okay, I'm not this talkative in person. When I'm around people in person, I'm like, I just can't be around crowds, but for some reason I'm talking to my laptop and it's pretty friendly back to me. And hopefully, if you'd like to subscribe, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, and if you'd like to message me with any other ideas for the future, definitely feel free to do that. Okay, I love you and I want you to love yourselves. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye bye.